Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Connor, and today I'm going to be going over why the A students end up working for the C students. And don't think this video can't pertain to you if you're not in school, if you're not an entrepreneur. Just stick to the end of the video. It's not going to be too long, and I promise you that you'll get some value out of it. All right, let's get right into it. All right, so why do the A students work for the C students, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys a super quick visual so you guys can best understand this concept. And these ideas are not all coming straight from me, okay? Some of these ideas are coming from Rich Dad Poor Dad, and some of them are coming from Sam Ovens. If you aren't familiar with them, you should be at least familiar with Rich Dad Poor Dad, but if you're not, then you can do your research on them on your own time. But I want you guys to look at your brain like this, okay? So you have one big part and you have a top left and a top right. So left, right, and then the left part of your brain is what most people use for reading and writing and stuff like that, okay? So like memorization and a lot of the stuff that you use in school. This is the part of the brain that is really strong for these students that are getting A's, that don't have trouble, that are really good test takers. This part of your brain is very powerful if you're that kind of person, all right? When people with a strong right side of the frontal part of their brain, they're gonna be more creative. So this is the creativity side. And then right here, this big part, this is your subconscious. So I'll just put sub C. And these people that are C students, they're not dumb. They're just not, they have to work a lot harder to get these A's. Maybe they have different priorities, but they're a lot more creative people, okay? And follow me with this, okay? So these people right here that are good at reading and writing, most of the time they're considered interpersonal learners. I believe that's what it is. Intrapersonal learners. Okay, so essentially that means that they're good at working with other people. Maybe they're good at working on group projects. They're good with other people. They're good at asking people for they're good at asking people if their ideas are good. Okay, so if they're not as confident in themselves. And then the people that have a strong front right part of their brain with creativity, they're considered right here, personal learners. Okay, so this means that they're good at working with themselves. They're good at coming up with ideas on their own. They're good at controlling themselves. And then there's the subconscious, and we all have this, okay? So I'm just gonna put these little things around it because it's loud. Okay, so this is the part of the brain that I like to say turns you into an animal. Okay, and not the good animal, okay? So this right here, for example, how it's used is, it can be used in good ways and bad ways, but for most of the time, it's bad ways if you're looking at the success aspect of it, okay? So maybe you're using the right side of the brain, maybe you're thinking outside of the box, you're like, maybe I should start a business, maybe I should try this, maybe I should try, I don't know, teaching people art. And then there's your subconscious, which goes, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? And Rich Dad Poor Dad, the guy that wrote that, Robert Kiyosaki, I believe that's what his name is. He said when he was fighting in Vietnam, the people with a strong subconscious that they could not control, they would be the people that would be like, what if I die? Like, I'm scared. What if I fail the army or whatever? What if I get hurt? And you want to be able to control this, okay? And the difference between interpersonal learners and interpersonal learners on the aspect of success is these people can control their subconscious a lot more than people that are interpersonal learners, okay? So these people right here, the interpersonal learners, they're able to kind of tell them their animal side or their subconscious, all right, let me try this. I'm not gonna think about failing. I'm just gonna have a clear mind. I'm gonna go straight in that direction. I'm gonna give it 100% effort, and I'm not gonna have a plan B. And that's how people are successful. Okay, you think Elon Musk was like, shit, what if this doesn't work? What if this doesn't work? Because I don't know if you heard the story about his SpaceX. He was two vehicles up, so two like spaceships. You shot them up. They didn't work. If this third try did not work, he would have been completely bankrupt. He wasn't thinking about a plan B. He was thinking, I'm going to go 100% into this. And he's an example of an interpersonal learner. You don't see a lot of these guys just messing around drinking. I mean, they celebrate, but that's to get dopamine. Like the science behind it is when you work hard and then you give yourself dopamine, it tells your brain that it wants to work so it can get dopamine again. Okay, I'll break that down in another video, but that's essentially the concept, okay? And these intrapersonal learners, they're not good at controlling this. They're the people that kind of fall in line, okay? So it's not because they're dumb, it's that their mind is kind of wired differently. And I do believe that these intrapersonal learners can be addicted to poverty. And by poverty, I don't mean being super poor. I mean like having a job, maybe something that they don't enjoy the most, because it's comfortable. They don't have to be creative. They don't have to shut this side of their brain down. They can just let it run. I have the money coming in, my bills are paid, I can go out and party once a weekend, and then I just go back on Monday. But I don't have to stress about losing my house. I don't have to stress about this, blah, 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 blah. But interpersonal learners, they control this, like I said. And that's kind of the difference with this, okay? So if you were starting a business and you had a partnership, who would you want to be a part of your partnership? Someone right here that's good at reading and writing. These skills aren't that hard to get, okay? Someone over here, but they're always like, what if this doesn't work? What if this deal doesn't go through? What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? Or would you have the person that is calm, gives 100% effort, and make sure that if something does not work, that they gave 100% to make it work? They have nothing to look back on and regret because they know that they tried, okay? And the people that are really, really successful, people think that they're cocky, maybe they're smarter than other people, they're whatever, and whenever like a problem comes their way, they're cocky and they don't really worry about failing. But that's not the reason why. The reason why is because really successful people know that they're going to do whatever it takes to get through that problem, to get through that task, to reach whatever goal that they have. They're going to do whatever it takes, whether it be firing someone that they care about, because they know how to separate their business life from their personal life, okay? And people that have business problems don't necessarily have business problems. They have personal problems that they bring into their business, okay? And you can rewind that if you want to hear that again, but that's a big concept, okay? Interpersonal learners are good at working for themselves, and they're good at separating it. If someone's not doing their part in the business, they're not going to go, oh, what if they're sad about me firing them? Oh, what if their families are sad? They're going to think, what's best for me and what's best for the business? I think that they'll probably ask what's best for the business first. And if they're really nice business owners, then they're going to ask themselves, did they have the opportunity to perform? Okay? And that's if they're nice. And most of the time, people have their chance. Most of the time, there wasn't anything that was really that bad that was holding them back, except their heads. Okay, and so this is essentially it. Okay, and I don't believe for 1 second that people can't move. Yeah, it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some self work. It's gonna take some changing. It's gonna take some affirmations. I'd say it's gonna take some. I want this, so I'm willing to do this. I want this, so I'm willing to do this. I'm not gonna have a backup plan. I'm just gonna go straight ahead, because most of the people that are watching my videos are young too. If you guys fail, I don't understand why you guys are like so worried about failing. You guys are so worried about like risking a few $100s for what you really, really want. That's what scares me. That's honestly like why people aren't successful, because they're not gonna take risks. No one takes risks because all they hear is this. They always let this get to them. Okay, so that's essentially the video. If you're gonna pull something out of this video, pull that you can go from here to here if you're in this section. If you're in this section, that's awesome. That's super awesome. But there's a chance that you still aren't able to control this part of your brain. If you can pull something out of this video, learn to control this. Learn to turn yourself essentially into a puppet, and your mind is the puppet master. That's gonna sound weird, but I promise you it works, okay? And I only give you guys information that works. So I want you guys to look at yourself as a puppet, okay? So Sam Ovens, this is where I got the whole idea from. He said that he always looks at his body as a puppet and his mind as a puppet master. So let's say, for example, he was talking about going to the gym in the morning, okay? he's not going to feel like it. His body, which is separate from his mind, is not going to feel like going to the gym. It's not going to feel like getting up early. It's not going to feel like getting out of bed. It's going to say, if I could just sleep for an hour longer, if I could just sleep for 30 minutes longer, it's going to feel so good. But what he does to train his mind and really like take control of the puppet is, as the puppet master, he says, okay, if he's fighting it, if my body is fighting it, then I'm going to pull it even harder and I'm going to make it go longer, okay? So for example, instead of having an hour workout, he'll have a 90-minute workout, okay? And he'll just keep doing that until his body stops fighting it and he has total control and there's no like pull from the puppet. All right, so you fell asleep, whatever happened, you don't remember anything in this video, nothing made sense. Your one takeaway, okay? Turn your body into a puppet, turn your mind into the puppet master, and get yourself to do stuff. If something becomes troubling to you or it becomes hard, pull it harder. If it's hard to get up and go to the gym, make yourself go to the gym and make yourself go to the gym longer and break that, okay? And that's easier. And the reason why A students work with the C students is because it's easier for the C students, because they tend to be interpersonal learners and they tend to be able to work with themselves better than the intrapersonal learners, because they always need other people to say, oh, that is a good idea. Oh, you should do that. They never do anything because of themselves. They always do it for other people, and they care about other people, and that shit is exhausting, all right? So if you guys like this video, make sure to like, make sure to comment and subscribe. You guys can follow me on Instagram or DM me with any video suggestions. Just at Drape, D-R-A-P-E. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another video next week, all right? Thanks for watching.